What's going on, Illumineers, and welcome back to the madness. Today, it's a long time coming, but we're finally talking about the green steel matchup, and I want you to be excited to see this matchup, okay? Because it's first off, it's not red blue, but I think we really are doing pretty good into green steel, and there's a few reasons, and we're going to talk about them. Before we do, don't forget the giveaways going on. Go to the link in the description for the YouTube video. It's completely free. And all you have to do is a couple things to get the chance to win some free Azurite C cards. Check it out, guys. It means a lot to me to give back to you all. With that, let's jump into being excited to see Green Steel. So, what are we trying to do? Well, first, couple things to keep in mind, okay? And the first thing is if you've already been playing a bunch of SteelSong, you've already been playing against Green Steel, then understand that if you have a core game plan, don't watch this video or take advice from a whole bunch of people and then change it the day before set champs or Seattle. Like, run with what you've been doing because you're confident in it, okay? Confidence is going to be way better than going into a match and being like, oh, Habibi said this, or Zach Bivens said this, or whatnot, because then you're questioning your decisions. And if you do lose, you're going to be so upset with yourself for questioning your decisions. That's all you're going to focus on instead of what could I have done better. So stick to your core game plan. Maybe take a couple of small things, but stick to what you know. The second thing, understand that Green Steel's high roll is just infinitely better than your high roll, okay? Their high roll, if they go Baby Diablo into Shift Big Diablo into Let the Storm Rage on your Queen into a 3-cost Ursula or even a 3-cost Pete or a Morph. Like there's so many things that they could do. In best case scenario, their high roll is 3-cost Ursula and then into a double casted Sudden Chill. And then at that point, like that's just the game, and that's like 7, 8 cards for them to play that high roll. So understand that their high roll is just better than yours. It doesn't mean the deck is better; it just means their high roll is better. And if you lose to that, you didn't lose because you're an unskilled player. You lost because their discard, their high roll is just better, and they legitimately just got luckier than you. Sure, maybe they had a little bit of skill to do their mulligan, but they just got luckier than you. And that's just it. That's what the deck does, okay? And that's okay. The next thing, I personally think that our deck is just better into Green Steel than their deck is into us. And that's my opinion. Hate it, love it. It's up to you. The other part, you probably, if you've been playing SteelSong, you probably have more reps than them. Okay, this isn't the same the Green Steel deck that it was in set 4 with Bucky or set 3 with the Cursed Merfolks. This is a very different Green Steel list, and if they're running Zans, they're not playing it as well as Zan is. Okay, so you understand that as well. Zan's version is difficult to pilot, very difficult to pilot, and they're probably not playing it as well as him, or even maybe even a quarter of the way as good as him. So you probably have more reps than them, and that is going to go really far. And the last thing, just remember that on the inside, morally, you're just a better person than them because you're not playing discard. Everyone will respect you more for that. And yes, that is a dig at discard players. But let's move on to the deck itself, okay? So for this, I'm showcasing Habibi's list. This is something we talked about. How do we make it better? And the name of it is Back to Set 4 with Habibi. And the reason I say that is because the longer this set has gone on, the more we go back to what we were doing in set 4 with Baloo's and Lawrence's and things like that. So, with that, what are we trying to do with this list? So, you have to understand that flutes are gone, right? So, the control version of that playing this long game, this long control game is gone. And we're playing very tempo. So we're trying to land a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and then play the game from there. And that's the whole game plan, okay? Because now what are we looking for specifically? Cindy is going to be our favorite one drop almost always into Daisy into Queen. And then I prefer Ursula over Smee, and then Ariel into Pete into Lawrence into Baloo. And Pete and Lawrence are very similar into how I'd like to see. I wouldn't be upset with either one. I'd be very happy seeing either one of them. Pete because it stops their songs for a turn, and then that could disrupt a lot for them. And then Lawrence because he's questing for two, and he's just a big boy. So what are the considerations here? One, if you mulligan and you mulligan into a Zeus, then there's a good opportunity to just, if you have the shift package, to go queen on one over Cindy or Daisy. Because then you can go queen on, you can shift if that is the play. And that is an option because then you can kill anything you want with Zeus. And that's pretty powerful as well. And that might be the play, especially if you don't have Ursula, because that lets you destroy their Ursula 3 cost if that's what they play. And you could do that if maybe you don't have an Ariel, if you don't have an Ursula on turn 2. And that is something you could do. I prefer Ursula because I like the ability to sing whatever I want outside of a whole new world off of Ariel. Because our ideal line is Cindy into Ursula into Ariel. At least for me, because I like to be able to control Green Steel and control their high roll potential. I like to be able to kill their 3-cost Ursula when they play it. I like to be able to kill their Morph so they can't get down Tinkerbell if they run that version, or kill their Beast and so they can't get down the Beast and start drawing cards. And so that's how I prefer to play it. Now, you're the thing is you have to also be comfortable with other lines. So you're not upset to see a Smee on turn 2, especially if you have a Rapunzel in hand, because now you go Smee on 2, you quest on 3, and maybe you draw one card with Rapunzel, or you get a little cocky and you wait an extra turn, you draw 2 cards with Rapunzel. There's options, okay? And just because you see Cindy or because you see Daisy, I would still play Daisy on turn 1 because a lot of like Daisy's a 1/4. Unless they get a shift down, they're not going to be able to kill Daisy. And that questing, if you get to like 8 with Daisy, like that is magnificent. That is so powerful for you. So don't hesitate there. There's two lines that you can run with this depending on your opening mulligan. You can either go super aggro, and if you see something like a Daisy Duck into a Smee into a Lawrence, that is an option where you can just be like, you know what, I have it in my hand. Even better, I have it in Rapunzel. I'm just going to go that route. Or you can go the more control route. So you have two really good lines into Green Steel. So don't sell yourself short thinking you got a really bad mulligan. Now, the other thing is Rapunzel is going to be one of your best friends here because they seem to always be able to get rid of your whole new world with the 2-cost Ursula. So try and set yourself up for the Rapunzel heals. So maybe on turn 3 you play Baloo and Bodyguard, and maybe this is where the skill gap can come into play because maybe they do hit into your Baloo, and then with Smee you smack into their Ursula, and then because you do that, you now get to heal for 2 because you probably quested last turn also, and you get to heal with 2 with Rapunzel. So don't fret if you don't see an Ariel. Like Rapunzel heal is massive here, and now you have a 1/5/2 down that they can't answer as well, and you can also sing every one of your songs excluding A Whole New World. So the point is like there's an ideal line, but there is a ton of different lines in your early game, and so much of it just comes down to what is in your mulligan. Okay, this list right here, you're running 18 uninkables, and you have to keep that in mind that if you don't see any uninkables in your opening hand, when you mulligan, there's a really high chance that you're going to see uninkables. So I thought what we could do, because last time we did something like this, we simply did a Dreamborn. So I thought we could do Inktable, and we're not going to play the whole thing out. We're just going to play the mulligan and maybe a turn or two, and we can kind of talk about what I'm trying to do. So with this is I'm going first. This is my opening hand, and I'll be completely honest, I'm not super pumped. So there's a couple things. You always keep the aerial. Always, always, always always keep the aerial into this matchup. In my opinion, I'm never throwing it away because they're always ripping my songs. I'm not keeping Let the Storm Rage on because I don't have a way to play it. Like, I have zero ways to play it. Rapunzel's interesting, and I'd probably keep it. Worst case scenario, it's an ink. Um, Bare Necessities could have opportunities, but I'm inking them because it doesn't do anything. And so we're throwing away 5 and we're keeping 2. So odds are we see a 1 drop. Perfect. So this is we're happy with this because we can go ahead and ink. We ink the Cindy and we play the Daisy and we pass. Now, we don't really care about what the opponent does here because the opponent most likely plays that's unfortunate. The opponent most likely plays really bad always here. So we ink the Queen and we quest and we pass. Oh, goody, they saw Prince John. Now, I could have played the Queen, right? I could have inked, like, Let the Storm Rage on or Rapunzel, and I could have played the Queen. And that is a viable option. But ultimately, by doing this, like, it guarantees that I can do something. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So we'll back up a second. I top decked a second Whole New World. They don't have any way to kill my Ariel at this point. Like, I already knew they had nothing in their deck that could have killed my Ariel because they didn't have Diablo to sing Let the Storm Rage on and then hardcast another Let the Storm Rage on. So, what I probably should have done last turn is actually played the Queen and inked the Rapunzel because then I would have Daisy Duck and Queen down because right now what I'm looking at is I can go ahead and drop the Pete, and then I can play the Ariel, and that's a bummer, but we'll take it just in case they play another Ursula. And now what has happened is I'm guaranteed to sing a Whole New World next turn. And that's just massive for us because as long as we can see a whole new world, hey, look at that. Look at that. And that's definitely the best move because I have 2, so it doesn't do any good for them to take it. But yeah, so now I'm guaranteed to get to do something. So now I have the option where I could do Ursula, sing a whole new world, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ink the ink there. I'm going to play here, and then I'm going to pass, and then I'm going to quest. Always quest before your whole new world, and there we go. And then of course we'll sing this. Maybe there's an argument where we don't have to do it that turn since we can't play anything. So there is an argument where that was a little hasty. Um, but ultimately, I'm not too concerned about it because there's not a lot they can do to punish me with this hand. Because all we can do is assume that this is their hand, right? So here we can discard a card. So we have 5 ink next turn. So we probably go Ariel and Smee. So we'll discard Bare Necessities. So we just have a whole bunch of 1-drops we can play. And that means they also can't take that. So you kind of get the idea. Like this game is pretty much over at this point because we can go ahead and we can ink the Queen, and then we can play here and take this, and then we send it back and we play here. Now we have the option that we could Strength of a Raging Fire on their Diablo if we really wanted to, because that protects our Ariel. Um, but if we quest, we go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 with Baloo. So we're just going to quest all that because that one lore lets us be able to get into lethal with Baloo. So we're happy with that because what happens now, their only way out now is they have to play Bruno on Rapunzel. And they don't, so that means they lose. Wow. Never mind. They pulled themselves an extra turn because I was going to blow up my Baloo with Let the Storm Rage on. So good for them. That worked out well for them. Um, but that's the whole game plan, guys. I will say that what Green Steel is trying to do is Green Steel, their optimal play is, of course, the high roll, but their non less high roll is to get muses down early. If they can get muses down early, then they just get to start bouncing your Rapunzels, they get to start bouncing your Ariels, your Daisies, and where that sucks to be bouncing cards like that, it also means that you're not questing with Daisy a whole bunch. You can't hit their warded characters, so you just that's ultimately what they're trying to do, and so they can control the game in their own way. And we'll leave that just in case. But yeah, so don't don't fret so much. But let's show them going first. So we'll go ahead, we'll quit to menu and player two start. So let's show them going first. And here's the fun thing about it. For me, not a lot is going to change. So now with this hand though, what's really fun about this is I'm going to keep. And here, no, I'm going to throw back Whole New World. And the reason I'm going to keep this is because on turn two, I'm going to shift Queen. So I'm going to ink. Yep. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ink something, probably Lawrence. That's the worst card that we want. That is the worst thing that we wanted to see. I'll be completely honest. So now maybe we play Ursula, but um so we'll ink Lawrence, we'll play the Queen. And the reason that's the worst thing is because now that really puts a damper on if they would have gone like Baby Diablo, then we could have very easily yeah, seen. So now we have to go this route. So we'll ink um we'll ink we could go Smee or Ursula. So we're here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ink the Smee, we're gonna play the Ursula. And we're not going to attack the cove, so we'll pass. Now I could have kept the Smee and challenged into the hidden cove, and that's a very like that could be a play, right? The worst thing for us to see at this point would be see that was just yeah. This is where the ink they're just not great players, right? Because now I just kill their Diablo unless they yeah. So that was unfortunate that we see such an unoptimal play. Because what we do now is we just get our character down. Well, there's two options, right? So we could shift Queen, quest, take out Diablo. Or we could just play Ariel, but this way we can just play, we'll shift, and then we quest here, and we give -4 to Diablo, +4, we challenge, we stop their Diablo shift if it's coming, and it also still gives us quests or cards to take care of things. So now we can go ahead and play here and see nothing, which isn't a surprise. So why should you not be surprised by this whiff? Well, we've already seen one strength, two strength, and then I think I inked a strength. So that's three strengths and a Let the Storm Rage on. So it's a numbers game. Like that shouldn't be a surprise to you that you didn't see anything that turn. So we'll quest, we'll give +4 there, we'll challenge the cove just to start moving things, and we'll pass. And you get the idea. Now, this game is far from over, but at the same time, you're already starting to see where they can start being a little crazy if they wanted to. But we're going to quest with Queen again, and we're going to give +4 here, and then we're going to challenge here. And I'm going to go ahead and play the Smee, and I will quest with Ariel and pass. Now, why did I quest with Ariel? So if they attack something, right? If they attack anything, then now I get to play Rapunzel to heal. And that is pretty powerful. So, this computer's so silly. Um, so because now what I can do is I can challenge into that if I really wanted to take it out, and then I can heal with Rapunzel, and then I can sing to take out Pete. So that's because we can only, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're going to go at, nope, I won't sing because I don't have the ink. So we're going to quest here. And then we're going to give minus for here. We're going to give plus for, I don't think it matters because we go bodyguard, right? So plus 4 here, and then it did matter. So we wanted to give it to Smee. Because then we go here into here, um, and then we go, because what we can do here is we can ink, or we can sing strength to play there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play this in body. No! Oh no! We'll see. We'll see. This will be fun now. Because we were going to heal, so it's fine. We'll quest here, and then we will um I forgot he played Pete. Oh, we're kind of just being silly right now. But we're at 11, so we'll go ahead and quest with Ariel. And the reason is because it just, now if he attacks the Ariel, if he attacks anything, then, oh, that's a bummer because he can go here. He can, yep, goes there, okay, and then goes there. That, oh, goodness gracious. We're going to lose. But you get the idea. Other than misclicks, you just want the board, right? If we hadn't misclicked there, the game was very much ours. And honestly, it still might be because we go to 14, 15, 16, 17. So we'll play it out because now we'll see what happens. Because we always quest here, and we'll give, I don't think it matters. We'll do this, and we always play this on this to heal 1. And then I think we still have to challenge to take that out because now they have to go here. They take that out. We go to 16, 17, 18. Oh, he takes out the Rapunzel now. Oh, either way, we get the +2. So it doesn't really matter how he does it. So now we go to 18, but then we play Queen. So we go here, and then here. So here we have an option. We can quest, and all he has to do is 1 damage. We'll go ahead and ink this, and we're going to pass. Let's see if he got it. All right, there we go. We still managed to get it. There we go. So that's all it is, guys. All right. Like I said, the whole premise, the whole game plan is getting that 1, 2, 3 down. If we pull up, this again, getting that 1, 2, 3 down so that you can just start getting bigger. Rapunzel is going to be huge. Queen can be really effective because it lets you sing Zeus. It lets you sing anything on turn 2. Maybe you have a really bad hand and you have to Whole New World. That's fine to do that on turn 2. Okay, this is a good matchup for you. I promise it's a good matchup for you. Um, don't let the computer do any like that wasn't optimal play lines at all, but I've always felt really confident into this matchup. So go into it with your own confidence, all right? With that, good luck everybody this weekend. If you play Steel Song, send me your list. Send me your list, how many points you got, what place you got, your matchups. Please send it to me, okay? I'm going to do a video. I'm going to try and highlight as many Steel Songs as I can. So you can find me on Discord. Go to my Discord link in the description. Hit me up, okay? And I'm going to do my best to get as many into a kind of a post-weekend video as I can to highlight just how amazing all of you Steel Song players are. So, with that being said, stay happy and healthy, guys. Until next time, and good luck to everyone this weekend.